Hello and welcome to June 3rd, 2024. It's time for the first Litter Media Live edition for the Work Week. I'm Dan Ramey. He's Mike Smith. Aaron Glandon off to my immediate left. Mr. Hand 2 making an appearance. Thank you for joining us today.
It's also the first show in the month of June.
Yes.
It is that, yes. Well played, mister. He's on the calendar ball.
Just on the calendar.
Happy birthday to my big sister, Debbie. Love you. Enjoy your birthday. She's probably going to a casino somewhere. And it doesn't have to be her birthday to do that. She does it all the time.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah. The benefits of living on the other side of the Great Smoky Mountains to go to Cherokee, Tennessee, I think it is. Really had that. So.
Is she a card player or slots? What are you talking about?
I couldn't begin to tell you.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
She hadn't shared any of her winnings with you, apparently.
No. It's my understanding it was paid for a wedding or two. So so that's worked out pretty well. All right. Welcome to the show. Thank you for watching today. Coming up here shortly, a little bit of a weekend review. There's a lot of things going on this weekend, so we'll share some details in just a moment. Also coming up, we'll take a look at sports and this date in history. We go back to
1956. A whole lot of shaking going on.
All right.
Some people didn't like it.
And that is true. Some still don't like it because the shaking's a lot different now than it was back in 1956. Let's look at the forecast. Yesterday we had a little bit of rain and mist. What do we have today?
Should be a pretty day today. Some sunshine with a high of 83. There is a chance of some shower and thunderstorm activity tomorrow and Wednesday. Earlier they were talking about Thursday. That might be a coin toss on Thursday right now, but looks like maybe 83, 84 also on Wednesday, 78 for the high tomorrow.
All right. Coming up in a moment, our weekend review. But first, let's take a moment to tell you about Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your trusted comfort advisor. In fact, our air conditioner is on right now here in the Litter Media Loft. It was installed by Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing just last summer. So if you'd like to find out more about their services and how they can help you be comfortable in your home or business, click on this ad anywhere you see it at littermedia.com. Takes you right to their website, accuratehvac.com.
Our financial lives have never been more complex, and some decisions just can't wait, which is why our K&B Mobility app gives you instant access to the financial tools you need wherever you are. Get a clear picture of all of your accounts, check your daily transactions, receive account alerts, and much more. So no matter where you are or what you are doing, you can make the best decisions for you and your financial goals. Download our Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
Are you looking for a beer that satisfies your thirst and love of country? Armed Forces Brewing Company brews beer for patriots. Celebrate freedom with every sip. Armed Forces Brewing Company. Freedom never tasted so good.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
For transportation options in Ross County, call Ross County Health District's Mobility Management Team, 740-779-9652. Haynes Total Healthcare Center celebrating 50 years of serving the chiropractic, physical therapy, and nutritional needs of the community. You can click on this ad anywhere you see it on littermedia.com. It takes you right to their website to learn more, hayneshealth.com. I may have to call them later today just because of the weekend.
I'm sorry to hear that.
We'll explain more coming up in just a moment. Let's take a look at our weekend review. Of course, you can follow along on littermedia.com for many of the news stories and sports and all that jazz as well. Our YouTube channel is available for you today. We've got a new video that you can check out from Adina Health on our YouTube channel today. But first, we want to take a moment and see the Eyes of Freedom. This was on display Saturday during the centennial celebration of the Chillicothe VA Medical Center. And there you see Aaron Reed on the right in that first portrait there. He is the Southeastern graduate who lost his life in Iraq. And This is the structure that was built about 3 years ago. It's called the Silent Battle. A number of veterans commit suicide, 22 a day is what we're told from, and all these dog tags, they had blank dog tags. You could write a message on there and place them down. I was watching some of the veterans who were in the gymnasium as they walked around, and it is interesting to see their reaction to certain things. And you can tell, just like Kelly told us in the interview, who has been there, who had family there, and who was just an American wanting to come in and see. And it was a unique moment. And found out when I read this that Aaron Reed was in the hospital at the same time as my son when they were born. So an incredible tie they have there. And then afterwards, it was the celebration itself at the Chillicothe VA Medical Center. There you see a number of the dignitaries that were on hand for the event where they were all, this was the opening ceremonies, obviously. There's the Greenfield, what used to be the ROTC unit there to display the colors. And there you see all the folks who were participating in the opening for the ceremony too. Well attended, and a lot of folks there. It wasn't a real long ceremony. It was probably about 20, 25 minutes, but it was an enjoyable moment for all in attendance. And I will tell you, we had the baseball game afterwards, and it was very well received. Here you're seeing what we did at Adena Mansion and Gardens. We didn't quite see the rest of the video from the VA, but here's some of the action with our friends, the Ohio Village Muffins. In this particular game, we lost. There's Garen Veras. We lost the first game poorly. I mean, it was like 29-2. But this one went into extra frames, and we lost 5-4. There's Bill Betson lacing one to left field, and he played pretty well. First time he played with us, and there's the rest of the bunch. And we also had to make a transaction before the game. Here's this guy batting.
Now, did you make, yeah,
Look at that.
You made contact.
I did make contact.
Okay. I was blocked out by the camera. I couldn't see what happened to the ball.
I also reached base as well. These are a compilation of, this is about as fast as I was actually running also.
This is real speed.
Look at that.
This is not Ellie De La Cruz by any stretch
At all.
of the imagination.
You know, the more I watch that, I see my older brother, Jim. It's crazy. But here's Aaron Sinden. He's one of the Muffins. We made a transaction before the game because we were missing a player. And so we received one of the best players that the Muffins had. And he played very well for us at shortstop. And although he did have a bit of an error in the inning that tied the game so it seemed a little suspect.
It sounds like the Black Sox scandal developing here. Yeah.
Oh, here we are getting ready to make a pitch. I didn't know you took this many pictures. Aaron Glandam was on hand for the game, and looks like I need to go in an off-season weight program of some sort.
My wife, when I was showing the picture, she said, "Who is that guy?" I said, "That's Dan."
He's grown a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just a
Him,
growing
that
boy.
skinny kid that we used to see pictures of him at Days Valley.
Yes. I've always said that I weighed 135 pounds when I got married, and now I'm twice the man that my wife married. So
You know, you and Barney Fife weighed the same.
is that right?
135. Oh, boy.
Then I grew up
Yeah.
and out. But it was a very good weekend, very busy weekend for all involved. And so thank you for the many people who showed up to support not only at the VA, but also up at Adena Mansion and Gardens. We've got another doubleheader coming up. It's a road game. The Adena Worthingtons are traveling down to Sharonville. There is a historic park there. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but the Cincinnati Buckeyes and the Cincinnati Red Stockings have invited us to come down for a doubleheader there. So that should be a lot of fun.
You got to get him to set up something at the old Crosley Field in Blue Ash.
Ooh, There's an idea.
I've been wanting to stop by and see that over the years, and I just never have done it. I remember being at the real Crosley Field, but I've not seen the replicas. So
I didn't know there was a replica.
yes, in Blue Ash.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Maybe we can contact them and maybe bring you and Tom Beard to maybe do the play-by-play.
Play-by-play from Crosley Field. Yeah. I can be Wade Hoyt back at like the old radio.
Or who
days.
knows if Marty Brenneman's available.
Maybe.
Down in his territory, he might be willing to make a drive over.
I'm sure Marty would want some. Nothing's free with Marty, remember? Some good news for the consumer, talking about money. Governor Mike DeWine has announced that the 2024 expanded sales tax holiday will take place from midnight Tuesday, July 30th, until almost midnight Thursday, August 8th. So this year, in conjunction with the Ohio General Assembly and the governor, they've expanded the Ohio sales tax holiday to 10 days.
Awesome.
It'll allow tax-free purchases made in person or online on all eligible items up to $500.
And that'll be helpful for we grandparents who help buy back-to-school stuff
Absolutely.
for our grandkids.
Yeah, so cash in on that a little bit longer period of time. Sheriff George Lavender of Chillicothe has been appointed by the governor to the Ohio Organized Crime Investigations Commission for a term ending September 3rd of 2026. Jason Rhodes of Chillicothe has been appointed to the Ohio Board of Motor Vehicle Repair for a term ending January 2027. And Dennis Booth of Williamsport has been appointed to the Ohio Board of Motor Vehicle Repair for a term ending January 2026.
You know, Jason set up an interview for us for radio back in the day about the Ohio Board of Motor Vehicle Repair.
Yeah.
So he's big with auto collision repair as well. So congratulations.
Still on that group. Just a quick note, McKell Library is closed now through June the 20th. So if you have any request for them for historical information or whatever, you can get that through their website, and they'll try to get back with you as quick as possible.
Ross County Community Action is teaming up with the Chillicothe City Schools and promoting their Ross County Summer Food Program, which will be available in several locations throughout the country, the county that is, but they have yet to say where those places are going to be. So if you want to scan that QR code, you'll be able to find out more. Is this shared on our Facebook page?
Yes.
Okay, so you can go to our Facebook page and then scan that there if you'd like.
Something similar to this, only over in Mount Sterling. Today is the opening of the Mount Sterling Youth Summer Program. This will be held from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Some days could have extended hours due to field trips. It's free to kids age 5 and up, meaning to 18, at 164 East Main Street in Mount Sterling. They will have free lunch and activities for those youth, so check that out.
Back in my old stomping grounds, South Bloomfield Elementary School PTO is hosting a car show from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. That'll be June 15th at their 194 Dowler Drive location. Don't ask me where that is. I don't know the street names in South Bloomfield. There is free admission for spectators and pre-registration for participants will be $10, but $15 the day of the event. That's not too bad for putting your vehicle into a show.
Oh, well, yeah.
And you might even get a trophy out of that.
A lot of money goes into fixing up those cars. Our road report takes us to Pike County today. Underway is a landslide repair project on Watson Road between Mutton Run Road and Hay Hollow Road. Work is 7 to 5 daily. The road will be closed for the duration of the project. Northbound traffic is detoured via Route 335 to Higbee Road to Old Route 35. Southbound traffic detoured onto Old 35 to Higbee and then back to 335. They hope to have that project done sometime later this summer.
You ever run mutton before?
No, I have not. That's was that lamb?
I believe it is. I believe it's of the sheep vernacular.
Yes.
I've never mutton run though,
Me neither.
or run mutton.
I've eaten lamb, but
I don't know that I ever have.
I didn't know I was eating it.
Is that right?
My wife, when we first got married, she knew how picky of an eater I was, and I was telling Aunt Ruth this. She came over for dinner last
And
night.
suddenly you were like, "Oh, I'm eating lamb chop." Oh,
Laura said, "Do you like what you're eating?" Well, the reason that came up, we were watching All of the Family on the episode where Gloria made horse meat.
Oh.
And didn't tell Archie. Well, Mike was doing things behind the scenes, alluding to it, but
Camptown races, I believe.
oh yeah,
you're
that
saying.
was one of them. Yeah, and I was telling the story that when we first got married, Laura made some hamburgers, and she said, "You like what you had there?" And I said, "Yeah, it's pretty good." And she said, "That's lamb, ground lamb." So I think it was on special because typically it might be a little bit more expensive than ground beef.
We have some deer meat in our freezer, which it's kind of gamey for me, you know. But the folks who purchased my father-in-law's farm, they harvest deer off of the plantation there, and so they gave us a gift, but I have yet to break it out of the freezer.
I remember one time years ago, the Ross County Ministerial Association invited me to lunch. One of their members had gone out west and did game hunting.
Like elk and things?
Yeah, I have no idea what I was eating. Some of it was dry, but I don't think I had anything that I didn't, couldn't swallow.
Yeah.
But I have no idea what all I was eating. So I said, don't tell me. I want to enjoy this.
Sometimes it's best not to know until about 3 hours later.
Don't tell me. Yeah.
All right, coming up in a moment to look at sports. But first, let's tell you about these folks, Scioto Valley Dumpsters, 740-253-8389. If you've got a cleanup project you need done, if you, in some cases, they'll even come along and they'll demolish things for you if you need it. You want to find out more, call 740-253-8389 or click on this ad. It takes you right to their Facebook page. So when you see it at littermedia.com, click this. It'll take you to their Facebook page for the most recent information on Scioto Valley Dumpsters. Each week, Litter Media presents the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Player of the Week. If you have an athlete to nominate, any amateur athlete is eligible. Simply visit littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. At the end of the year, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Make your nominations now at littermedia.com. Click on Player of the Week.
I was on my riding mower, and I made a couple, 3 passes, and I turned back to the right. Before I got there, I'd blacked out. I went down in the little stream dip out in front of the house. I didn't realize it till my chest hit the steering wheel.
He's as lucky as it gets, He had a cardiac arrest at home, and then he got a thump on his chest from the lawnmower, and then he woke up.
Sue told Matt to put me in his truck and bring me up here, which I'm glad he did, because it's just something that hit me all at once, I guess.
All the credit to the ER team, actually. They jumped on him. They brought him back after 3 rounds of CPR, and they shocked his heart out of it. Now, that's the most important thing. First of all, you don't get the cardiac arrest. But if you want to get the cardiac arrest, you better be in the ER, where everybody is around you. They can save you.
The one said, well, we had to bring you back twice during surgery, pound on you a couple times. He said, we hope we didn't fracture or break any of your ribs. I said, well, I'm not worried about that. Them will heal. You kept me here.
We put him on the right medication. We sent him to the rehab, where he worked with the rehab people. He got his strength back. His function of the heart got better, and now it's almost normal, around 45 to 50%. And that's just because he was taking his medications very religiously, and he was going to the rehab, and he was doing everything possible to help him out.
He come in on Saturday and explained everything. And his crew come in, joked around, which I like that, because it makes you feel better.
I think the good thing about the Adena is they treat everyone as their own family member. That's very unique. It's a small town, but everybody knows everyone.
If he calls me and tells me he wants to see me anytime, then I'll be up here. He's a good doctor. I want to thank you for saving my life.
Absolutely.
It's the details that make the difference between good enough and simply the best. At Skag Power Equipment, the difference is in designing lawnmowers with your convenience and comfort in mind. At Skag, we believe that quality and substance matter, and that you'll appreciate the attention to detail and craftsmanship we put into every single product. Thick steel and heavy-duty components provide you with unmatched reliability and performance. Skag, simply the best.
Bean Foundation wants to raise awareness about suicide prevention by sharing 988. Trained crisis counselors are available to talk 24/7, 365. 988. Save the number, save a life. To learn more about the Bean Foundation, created in the memory of Bryant Beans Butt, call 740-703-0611. If you missed that information, just click on this ad where you see it at littermedia.com, and you'll find the phone number and an email for Jim Butt, who, by the way, is celebrating a birthday today.
Hey,
so
happy birthday,
happy
Jim.
birthday, Jim. Time for sports, and we're going to start with a busy weekend for high school softball and baseball.
Yeah.
And track and field.
Here's just a trifecta of some of the stories that we were covering over the weekend. We'll start at the bottom with state track and field championships. That actually ran Thursday through Saturday. We have listed all of the area athletes that are in our Litter Media coverage area that placed in the top 8. That's the only kids that can score points are those in the top 8. And that included Chillicothe's Kiara Archer. The thing about Kiara, and I think we explained this last week, she got a wild card spot into the state meet because even though she was 5th in her region, she got that spot because her time was better than some of the other region's top 4. Well, lo and behold, she ends up getting 7th place in the state. So that's a pretty good rule that they put in.
And she was running in lane 7.
Yeah.
By the way, the photos, if you want to see all those photos, those are available thanks to the efforts of Carla DePue. And you'll see in the picture she's running, and she's got the sticker on her leg, lane 7.
Yeah. So congratulations to all of those area athletes. There's also a link that takes you to Mile Split that gives you every single event and every single athlete, no matter how they placed. Of course, Logan Elm Lady Braves, a real heartbreaker, a 2-1 loss. That game was tied late, 1-1, and then Bryan, who ended up going on as the state runner-up, they beat Logan Elm in the semi. And on the top there, you see that Indian Creek held off Waverly. The Tigers were down 7-1 in that regional final. They rallied to cut it to 7-5 and had the tying run at the plate, but just couldn't push it across. And also a Litter Media salute goes out to Liberty Union Softball as they won the Division III state championship over South Range. First state softball championship in the school's history. They did win a girls basketball title back in 1993. So the little town of Baltimore was whooping it up.
And I was wondering
over the
if
weekend.
has there been a parade yet?
I think they had a big thing coming into town, and then they had some kind of celebration there at the school.
The significance here is you look at the competitive nature of those teams in the Cardinal Division or Buckeye Division of Mid-State League, and they were all in the postseason.
Right.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody is, but to go deep in the postseason is and then to have one win the championship, that's all the better. Chillicothe Paints, they split their weekend series with Champion City. They played here Saturday on Veterans Appreciation Night. By the way, they had 5,100 people at the stadium Saturday.
That's great.
I don't know that that's a record, but that's pretty darn close to a record, if not. But then that was a 15-7 win on Saturday. And then yesterday, playing in Springfield, they fell 11-4 to Champion City. And they're off tonight, back into action tomorrow at VA Memorial Stadium with a new team in the league, the Full Count Rhythm. They'll play at 7:05. They are from Hendersonville, Tennessee. So we'll talk more about that tomorrow on the program. The Reds and Cubs met up for a weekend retreat, and the Cubs fell to the Reds yesterday. That means the Reds win the series. Yay. 2-1. 5-2 the final yesterday. The Reds have won 6 of their last 9 games. Cincinnati opens up a series in Colorado tonight. The Guardians fell to the Nationals 5-2. Cleveland won that series, though, 2-1. The Guards were at home with Kansas City this evening.
Back on the local front, if you like to go out and play golf, you'll want to check in on this. Registration for the Adena Greenfield Medical Center Community Council golf outing is now open. It's a first-year event. It takes place on June 28th at Buckeye Hills Country Club in Greenfield, and it's an 18-hole scramble. If you'd like to get signed up, give them a call at 937-981-9433 or visit adenatx.com. littermedia.org/AGMC golf, and all of the, of course, proceeds go to the Adena Health Foundation.
Again, many of the stories that we have shared here today are available on our website or through our news feed here on Facebook. Or if you want to go to our Litter Media X, you can go back and look at some of those things we had over the weekend, some of the highlights you had from baseball being played over in Athens. And, of course, you can always go to our website, littermedia.com, and check out our YouTube channel for what you'll find there as well. Coming up, this date in history. But first,
we want to tell you about Litter Quality Propane, custom tank colors and wraps. Find out how a propane tank can be beautiful at litterpropane.com.
At Rathkamp Financial, we act as your advocate in all wealth matters. We believe in long-term relationships and working to earn your continued trust with our customized investment solutions. Our greatest satisfaction comes from working with clients for many years and helping them realize their dreams.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
I was looking for a first job. I had been babysitting and decided it was something for a little more permanent. It pays very well. It's convenient. You can make your own schedule with the flexibility. That's something that I like. The people that I work with are great. I wouldn't ask for a better crew or management team to work for.
time to turn the Litter Media Wayback Machine dials to 1956.
In the early months of the rock and roll revolution, in fact, at a time when adult authorities around the country were struggling to come to terms with a booming population of teenagers with vastly different musical tastes and attitudes, Santa Cruz, California, now I just can't picture this being the bastion of conservatism, but must have been in 1956, they captured national attention for its response to the crisis as city authorities announced a total ban on rock and roll music at public gatherings, calling the music, quote, detrimental to both the health and morals of our youth and community, unquote.
The health, because you could throw a hip out. And now you go to a mosh pit and look out.
Yeah, so rock and roll was banned. I don't know how long the ban lasted, but I can't imagine it was too long. So.
Yeah. Santa Cruz.
How about that?
And now California, where anything goes.
Anything goes. Yeah. And then the Beach Boys come along several years later and create another rage.
Help me, Rhonda. All right, that's a look at today's program. We do have a special edition scheduled for later this week. We've got a couple of them, actually. One will be featuring on the Good Samaritan Food Network, and also they have a new event going on in Bainbridge. This is a fundraiser for the roof of the Paxton Theater, and I'm trying to remember what they're calling it. Let me look
comparable to what the Majestic did, apparently, with their roof?
Well, kind of, I believe. They're calling it Father's Day Weekend Rock the Block. And they've got food trucks, a free carnival game. This is all 6 to 9 on June 14th. And the best dad joke contest.
Oh, boy.
You'd be king at that. And the dad bod catwalk contest. I might be able to perform in that one. And live classic rock from Bush League.
They haven't banned it in Bourneville or Bainbridge yet. So,
no. But Bobby Blanton's going to be in to talk about that on Wednesday morning. But we'll visit with Jan Corzine tomorrow afternoon.
At 1 o'clock.
So, very good. All right, so that's it for today. So until tomorrow at 11 o'clock, thank you so much for watching this edition of Litter Media Live.